How do you spot the ones who see possibility where others see constraint? Is it a question of talent or of leadership? Hi, I'm Mirza Chughtai, and this is part 8 of the Long Arc series, Talent That Transforms. In this episode, we'll step into a question that defines every transformation. How do you create systems where excellence is visible, where talent compounds, and where transformation does not consume people but renews them? Because there are systems where the success criteria for each role is crystal clear, where effort ties directly to individual outcomes, and those outcomes connect visibly to the team's success. In such a system, accountability is fair, merit has a place, and excellence can rise without distortion. And then there are systems where roles are defined by tasks, not by outcomes, where the measure becomes the list of what you do rather than the impact of what you deliver. These systems are rarely built with intent, but over time, they blur contribution and make transformation harder to sustain. And then there are systems that appear to mirror clarity, where dashboards and metrics tell a very clean story. But if contribution is obscured, if effort and outcomes are not attributed with integrity, then what looks like clarity is only optics. And optics may buy time, but in the end, they consume trust faster than they create it. The value of the first kind of system is that the system itself protects and promotes excellence. Alignment to mission, vision, and culture paired with transparency. A cause-driven, company-focused foundation. The value of the second kind of system is that excellence survives only at the mercy of leadership character. Without alignment, without transparency, everything depends on who is leading and whether they choose to protect and promote excellence or not. And the third, it offers no enduring foundation because optics cannot substitute for truth. And without truth, transformation cannot take root. Furthermore, when markets shift, when reductions become unavoidable, the difference between these systems becomes stark. In the first, the lower bell curve is visible across the enterprise. Contribution is transparent, and decisions, however difficult, are grounded in clarity. In the second, leaders face a moral dilemma. Do you let the leader go and risk losing the only lens you have into the team? Or do you let individual contributors go without certainty that favoritism is not at play or that the right decisions are being made? And in the third, the danger is even greater because when numbers mask reality, trust erodes at the very moment it is needed most. So the question of the day is, which system do you think is easier to drive transformation through? This is the crucible where talent either transforms or withers. Not in abstractions, but in the everyday systems that either make excellence visible or obscure it. And it is here that three realities about talent matter most. Discipline 1. Talent that reframes the possible. The spark of transformation. Individuals whose skill and vision show what good looks like, where others only see constraint. Discipline 2. Multipliers of momentum. The scaling force. Talent that compounds value across teams and horizons through skill, strategy, coachability, and timing. And discipline 3. The stewardship of talent. The sustaining ethic. Leadership's responsibility to renew, equip, and elevate all contributors so transformation endures. And to take this from theory into practice, these disciplines must be seen in motion as operating standards and proven in the crucible of change. First, from the few to the many to all. It begins with the few who see possibility within constraint, the sparks who show what good looks like in action. It scales through the many who multiply that spark into systemic momentum, and it endures when stewardship ensures all are included, valued, and sustained. Second, from action to system to responsibility. It begins in action, in skill that reframes what is possible. It grows through systems, momentum that compounds across boundaries, and it endures in responsibility. Leaders who renew the ecosystem of talent rather than consume it. And third, from transactional to transformational. It begins with individual excellence as the spark. It scales through the multiplication of excellence across boundaries. And it endures in stewardship, ethical, systemic leadership that moves beyond performance management into human accountability. This is the arc of talent that transforms: systemic, scalable, enduring. And with that foundation, let us step into each discipline to see how transformations that last are built.